A Glamorgan man is charged for murder. Infrastructure Secretary rubbishes claims of inferior material at Studley Park Quarry. New TADCO board appointed. And in sport, second spot in TNT Marathon for Tobago's Elvis Turner. Good evening, I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards. Thank you for tuning in to the Tobago Updates News for Monday, 31st January 2022. To our top story. A Glamorgan man has been charged with the murder of Raul Larry Joseph. Malcolm Grandison, also known as Killer, appeared virtually before a Scarborough magistrate today to answer the charge. 34-year-old Joseph, a tradesman of Windward Road, Glamorgan, was last seen on Tuesday, 4th January 2022. He was reported missing on Wednesday, 5th January. His body was discovered on Thursday, 6th January along a riverbank at Belmont Road, Hope Village. Grandison of George Street, Glamorgan, was arrested on Wednesday, 19th January at his home. The 25-year-old was charged with the offense following advice received from Director of Public Prosecutions Roger Gaspard on Friday, 28th January. The UNC is questioning the quality of the material coming out of the Studley Park Quarry and whether it has contributed to the collapse of the Mosquito Creek Road. At a press conference on Sunday, Member of Parliament for Oropouche East, Rudal Munilal, said when rehabilitation works took place in 2017, contractors were not allowed to import material from St. Lucia, the Dominican Republic, or elsewhere.
Contractors, lo and behold, were forced, I believe, to go to Tobago to do business with a prominent Tobago businessman linked to a very high official in this government to secure materials from Tobago Studley Park. Those materials, we are asking whether that material is not substandard, whether it is high quality materials that were being used.
In 2017, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley placed a ban on certain types of rock material which were available from the Studley Park Quarry. Tobago Updates reached out to the Secretary of Infrastructure, Quarries and Urban Development, Trevor James, for comment. While he could not comment on the alleged deal between a high government official and a Tobago businessman, James refuted any claims that material coming from Studley Park are inferior. He said Studley Park materials are the best in the region and is in high demand around the world. James is currently focused on transforming the business model of the quarry to ensure that high demand can yield high profits for Tobago. After 2 years away, Virgin Airlines joins British Airways in their return of regularly scheduled flights to Tobago. The Virgin Atlantic flight landed at the A&R Robinson International Airport on Sunday. Here's more.
There was much excitement at the A&R Robinson Airport on Saturday as Virgin Atlantic touched down in Tobago for the first time in 2 years. The COVID-19 pandemic interrupted Virgin's airlift to Tobago. However, with the help of vaccinations, travel was made possible again. The flight, which departed Heathrow Airport in the United Kingdom, landed in Tobago at 4:35 p.m. There to greet visitors was Assistant Secretary in the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, Megan Morrison.
We are very excited to have Virgin return to our shores after such a long break, and we look forward to many returns of this flight. So we are very excited. It will be a boost to our tourism sector, and we are happy to welcome them back here.
Also greeting passengers as they exited arrival gates was live cultural performances by dancers, drummers and panists. This is in keeping with an agreement reached between the division and the airport authority to provide a better experience for visitors as they are processed upon arrival.
These cultural experiences will be a fixture to the arrivals of our international flights, whether it be weekday or on the weekend. So you can expect a taste of Tobago every time you land on our shores for international flight. You will get the experience of what Tobago's culture is about.
These live cultural displays will change depending on the season or upcoming event. Meanwhile, tourism stakeholders are happy with the return of airlift. Earlier this month, Tobago saw the return of British Airways. Both British Airways and Virgin Atlantic have twice weekly scheduled airlift to and from Tobago. The UK has traditionally been one of the strongest markets for international visitors to Tobago. Cocoa Reef Hotel is one hotel that is benefiting from the guests after being forced to close its doors for most of the pandemic. At this time, there is no confirmation on future international flights. However, Chief Secretary Fali Augustine says work continues on attracting airlift from traditional and non-traditional markets. For Tobago Updates, I am Candice Jackson.
Now on to the latest COVID-19 figures. Over the last 24 hours, one new case was reported. Total active cases are now 446. There are 31 patients in the hospital. However, no new deaths have been reported. Total deaths are now at 230. After the break, we'll tell you who are the new members of the TADCO board. Stay tuned.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Good morning. Put a smile on your...
It's a different type of thing down there. What? And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Welcome back. The new board members of the Tobago Agribusiness Development Company, TADCO, received their instruments of appointment today. The appointments were approved by the Executive Council on January 14th. Chairing the board is businessman Kenneth Jones. The other appointees are as follows. Ricardo Alfred, Deputy Chairman. Directors Chantal Melville, Dale Lovelace, Owen Dillon, Melissa Williams-Reed, Hollis Walker, Binley Benjamin, Bernadette Kwashi, and Anthony Christmas. Merritt Douglas has been appointed as Board Secretary. The TADCO board was formed in 2020 following an amalgamation of the Cassava Company, the Fish Processing Company, and Tico Swaf. This was done in an attempt to market produce and agro-processed goods in a more streamlined and efficient manner. Members of the new board of the Tobago Reforestation and Watershed Rehabilitation Program also received their instruments of appointment today. Secretary of the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development, Natisha Charles Pantin, handed out the instruments at the division's Millshave Complex headquarters in Shirvan. The appointments are for a period of 1 year. Those appointed are Barry Lovelace as Chairman, Tamika Seals Mansano, Deputy Chairman, Directors William Trim, Trudy Caraballo, Newton George, Aisha Keynes Dumas, Didan Daniel, Judy Bob, Sean McCoon, and Secretary Jessica Phillips. To some other news, policymakers should be held responsible for mismanagement of public funds, according to former Minority Leader Ashworth Jack. He was speaking on the Tobago Updates morning show in response to claims made by Chief Secretary Fali Augustine in the House on Thursday. Here's more.
Public servants are not the only ones to blame when funds are misappropriated, according to Minority Leader Ashworth Jack.
Too often, the public officers are the ones who take the brunt of the blame, when we know for a fact that these public officers are taking instruction from someone else.
Even though administrators are responsible for signing the checks, Jack explains that the policymaker's role is to ensure proper accountability.
He shall exercise general direction and control. So it means that if a secretary sees something is happening, you want to know, hey, who gave you authorization to do that? And so it could not have happened without the express will or the express instruction of the Secretary.
Chief Secretary Fali Augustine told the House that the former PNM administration spent hundreds of millions of dollars in road repair works before the two THA elections, which took place in 2021. Jack says the former administration must be held accountable.
So we had almost $500 million in roadworks taking place in a period that extended about 2 months, 2.5 months. And that speaks to a sort of a recklessness.
Jack also believes the central government should pay the price for the debt the almost $500 million in road paving works incurred.
The Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance must be willing to pay off a debt created by their organization.
For Tobago Updates, I am Candace Jackson.
It is not enough for Chief Secretary Fali Augustine to say contractors were awarded million-dollar contracts for road paving works. He must name the contractors, if possible. This is the view of political leader of the Unity of the People, Nkosi Phillips. Phillips was referring to statements made in the House on Thursday by Chief Secretary Fali Augustine as he was explaining to Tobago the financial state of the THA. In his statement, Augustine accused the former PNM-led administration of spending $352 million before the January 27th THA elections in 2021 and an additional $267 million before the December 6th THA elections to pave roads. 3 contractors were alleged to be the main recipients of those contracts.
Would it also be wrong to ask who the contractor is that sent a bill for over $100 million of jobs done? Can that be made public for accountability, since you say you want to be accountable and transparent in your deliberations? Can that be made public to the people of Tobago?
Augustine announced that an independent forensic investigation has been ordered into those contracts, but Phillips wonders how much this investigation will cost Tobagonians.
Will face the full brunt of the law, or may find them.
Let us know who those persons are and who is this private company and where is this private company from and how much money it costs or it will cost the taxpayers for this investigation.
Phillips also wants to know who in those contractors have been paid, and if not, whether their non-payment will attract lawsuits to the THA. The Sport Report is up next. I'm Patricia Nicholson-Richards to our top story.
Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms
as remains when
the public is made.
Nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides Marine
in Tobago fishermen.
When will the Roxborough Hospital be fully functional?
Of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window
Still find
as
treasures like the Golden
continue
Waterfall
to rise in Tobago.
This is our Sport Report. Tobago-based Elvis Turner ran the race of his life to cross the finish line in second in the 40th staging of the Trinidad and Tobago International Marathon. Here's more.
Having not raced competitively for 2 years, Turner kept his composure to achieve a new personal best of 2 hours, 58 minutes and 50 seconds early yesterday morning. The 26.2-mile race took place in Chagaramas and environs. Speaking to Tobago Update Sports, Turner said, quote, "The race was pretty okay until mile 25, where I experienced a bit of discomfort," end quote. Asked about his race strategy, Turner said his coach Richard Jones advised him to keep a pace of 6 minutes 50 seconds per mile at the start, then drop to 6 minutes 45 seconds after mile 20. Jones, a former national distance runner, said Turner's biggest challenge over the years has been his patience, but he handled well in this race. Another Tobagonian, Curtis Cox, was third, while Guyana's Kelvin Johnson won the race in 2 hours, 55 minutes and 33 seconds. Chairperson for the event, Diane Henderson, said, quote, "We were looking at the top 40 runners from 2018 to 2020 editions of the race in recognition of 40 years, as well as a tribute to the late Anthony Harford," end quote. As it turned out, only 26 runners faced the starter yesterday.
Olympian Dwight St-Hilaire's 4.400-meter Kentucky relay team raced to a season's best at the Rod McCravey Memorial Meet last Friday. The team of Brian Forst, Lance Lang, Kennedy Leitner and St-Hilaire established a time of 3 minutes 5.07 seconds. 0.06 of their season's best to cap the meet in style. St-Hilaire also won the men's 200 meters in 20.85 seconds, which is a season's best. Up next, some Kentucky distance runners will head to Winston-Salem, North Carolina for the Camel City Elite Invitational on Friday, February 4th and Saturday, February 5th, while the rest of the team will next compete at the Tiger Paw Invitational in Clemson, South Carolina on February 11th to 12th. In related news, Kelsey Daniel, representing New Mexico Junior College, won the men's triple jump at the Wendy's Pittsburgh State Invitational last Saturday. Speyside-born Kenya Yaya Cordner has apparently made herself unavailable for the Trinidad and Tobago women's football team's upcoming CONCACAF Women's World Cup qualifiers. The competition serves as a qualifier for the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup and the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. Addressing the media following a practice match against the TNT Women's Under-20 team, senior women's football team head coach Kenwin Jones said, quote, "Nothing was done to Miss Cordner."
Apparently she has stated such. Nothing was done to Miss Cordner. Again, we do wish her well and hope that that she has all success in the future. But we have to continue. Again, this is Trinidad and Tobago's national team. We are going to continue to work for and to work hard to represent Trinidad and Tobago's national team. And there's an opportunity for us to find gems and develop gems for the future. So again, even with her, we wish her well as well. She's been a fantastic servant, and maybe in the future she should be honored by the association as well, because we do have to respect our players, our athletes in that manner. And hopefully as well for her, she can find a way to be able to reintegrate and give herself back to Trinidad and Tobago's football in some capacity.
TNT hosts Nicaragua in their Group F game on February 17th before they face Dominica in Guyana on February 20th, and the Turks and Caicos Islands and Guyana on April 9th and 12th respectively. Only the group winner will advance to the CONCACAF Women's Championship. And that's how we wrap up sport, but we have more news coming up after the break.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
I want to meet with you to share my personal testimony and other local testimonies. Call me now, Juliet Roberts, at 341-0715. The number again is 341-0715. God bless you.
Hi Trinidad and Tobago, my name is Blacks. I have a lot of comorbidities. Suffer with my heart, lungs, my kidneys. I went to my doctor and find out if it was good for me to take the vaccine, and she said yes, and here I am. Please, I'm begging you, I'm begging my fellow Trinbagonians, please take the vaccine. All right, DJ, play a tune.
Oh gosh, man, your belly. I'm just a stranger in a crowded place. Me and me cooler and we did.
Vaccinate today, live tomorrow. Kindly sponsored by NLCB, Desalcott.
So we could fit and celebrate.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Taste of Carnival 2022 is on in Trinidad, despite complaints from some stakeholders that the government's notice came a little too late.
Addressing members of the media during a press conference on Monday, Chairman of the National Carnival Commission, Winston Gypsy Peters, explained that although it will be a scaled-down version of the customary event, Taste of Carnival 2022 is on and is on the path to creating unprecedented history. He said going forward, there will no longer be such a thing as our normal carnival.
From here on in, it is going to be new territory charted with discoveries and lessons along the way.
Peter said because the current situation may not be ideal, some people will question why the government wants to go ahead and host Carnival this year. He claimed this is an opportunity for artistic evolution.
But here is an opportunity for us to evolve our carnival, our culture, and our collective approach to how we celebrate responsibly. Here's an opportunity to introduce even more creativity, adaptability, and sustainability to our beloved festival.
The NCC chairman pointed out that this is also an opportunity for the country to show the world that it takes its culture and the health and well-being of its people seriously. He gave the assurance that Trinidad and Tobago will take the necessary precautions into account in opening its doors to the nation and the world. He sought to clarify the reasoning behind the timing of the notice, which is an issue for some stakeholders.
We know that the time frames are not ideal for many within our community. However, staging a series of events like this requires the utmost in planning, coordination, and certainty.
Mr. Peters further noted that Taste of Carnival 2022 is not about bringing back wine and jam and freeing up in a period when many are rightfully apprehensive in doing so.
A Taste of Carnival 2022 is about us showing the world and each other that even in the face of challenge, we can be trusted to adapt, to perform, and to excel. That we can be trusted to be responsible, to be responsible enough to still celebrate our culture and our freedom.
The NCC chairman said his organization is confident that members of the public will conduct themselves responsibly while celebrating Taste of Carnival 2022. For Tobago Updates, I am Beverly Edwards.
Meantime, the Division of Tourism announced today that there will be no physical Tobago Carnival celebrations in February or March of this year. The division said this unanimous consensus was reached by the Division of Tourism, Culture, Antiquities and Transportation, the Tobago Festivals Commission Limited, and other local carnival stakeholders. It added that the decision was cemented by a signed agreement earlier today at the division's conference room. The move followed a series of consultations that were held with Tourism Secretary Tasha Boris, Assistant Secretary Megan Morrison, and the representatives of the various Tobago Carnival governing bodies, including TUCO, Pan-Trinbago Tobago Region, Mud and Mud, and the Tobago Band Leaders Association. According to the agreement, the organizations will focus on restructuring and strengthening the overall festivities, as well as commence preparations for a successful Tobago Carnival 2023. While no damages have been recorded from Saturday's earthquake, at 9:40 a.m. on Saturday, most of Tobago and some parts of Trinidad were shaken by an earthquake. According to UWI's Seismic Research Center, the earthquake registered at 5.2 magnitude on the Richter scale. The epicenter was recorded at 10 kilometers deep and 35 kilometers west-southwest of Tobago. Although the shake was experienced by many, the Tobago Emergency Management Agency confirmed with Tobago Updates that no loss of life, injury or structural damage was reported. This earthquake follows 3 others which occurred on January 18th, 24th and 25th around Trinidad. UWI's Seismic Research Center says earthquakes are a common experience in Trinidad and Tobago, and these recent ones are not unusual. The last major earthquake to cause damage was in August 2018. And that story brings us to the end of our Tobago Updates newscast for this evening. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards, thanking you so much for tuning in, and do have a good night.